Hello, Katatonic here, and welcome to my stream. Today I will play Love Thyself, a Horatio Story. I am a fan of endless series, so I want to try this game at least for the story. And I heard it's kinda canonizing, maybe, I don't know. So let's just start the game, and it has multiple endings. I don't know if I will play several times, but at least I will do it once. Let's start. It's a standard visual novel. It is impossible to dissociate my story from that of Horatio, the first of our name. Wait, I need to click. The first beings to travel widely between the stars were known as the Endless. We know of no earlier form of intelligent life that moved between galaxies. Their history is glorious but above all tragic. Though they unlocked the secret of time, space, the stars, and life itself, they were unable to master their own internal conflicts. What remains now of the Endless are strange, disjointed traces in the forms of seeds, of observatories, of experiments, of cities and worlds, and perhaps, though not all of this is clear or verifiable, in the forms of other people. Many starfaring civilizations have since risen to the fore. Some have fallen as well. Even events in the recent history have led to an explosion in the number of players on the galactic scene. Oh, another faction. Okay. One of these, undoubtedly major one on, is Horatio. Once upon a time, Horatio was just a man, a simple trillionaire. One night, a vision came to him in the shape of a dream. It was the vision of an empire, an eternal life. He left everything behind, venturing through the stars. Over the ages, he discovered many of the mysteries left by the Endless, and his knowledge and power grew. He created his first sons, and willed his empire into existence, a beacon of all that is brilliant and beautiful. Now the empire of Horatio flourishes, and Horatio himself is immortal, with the power to rival that of the Endless themselves. Some say that they were living gods. They are dead now, though, while we thrive through our brother, our god, Horatio. Let's save. Every time there is a decision, I will save. History. Oh, how to go back or return? Stay a little bit longer. I hear a beautiful song. I don't want to wake up just yet. Stay and dream a bit longer again. Oh, it's the same. Maybe if I keep dreaming, something will wake me up. Let's say nothing changed. Well, not the last. At last. Nothing. Okay, let's go towards the light. I think I hear someone. Recognition. Other clones in this batch are to be decanted today. I know this earlier than the original schedule planned for, but the schedule didn't plan for two patrol squads in the heartland of the Empire to go missing within a month. Just follow my lead and the procedure will be fine. If you do well today, you might be promoted to General Lab Technician earlier than expected. Assistant Lab Technician. This would be amazing, sir. Don't interrupt. Most of the process is automated, but contrary to some of the clone hatching sequences you have seen in class, the final steps are still done by hand. There are procedures for which a computer cannot be trusted, and you have to rely on steady Horatio judgment. Back to our specimens, we will handle clone birth A through L. I'll do the other row. Pick one and go to work. So, can you hear me? One moment I'm asleep, and the next I'm alive. My eyes struggle to adjust to the brightness of the room. It slowly comes into focus. There's a man in white and blue uniform bent over me, with a bald, elongated head and a look of concern on his face. Hello? You are awake. Great. I have a couple of questions for you. He shoved the small holopet he is holding in my face. It's very bright, and I recoil slightly, groaning something. He starts flipping through the pages when the other voice calls out, "Come over, please, I need your help." The man looks for a place to put down the holopet, then realizes his outfit doesn't have pockets big enough to accommodate it. Targus F07, I'm talking to you, get moving. Yes, sir, coming. He looks down at me and ends up putting the tablet down next to me. I'll be back. He trots away out of sight. I struggle to prop myself up on one elbow so I can keep watching him. He stops at a platform some distance away, on which lies a naked man. Another uniformed man is standing nearby, looking at a side panel next to the platform. All three of them look exactly alike. Brothers? How can I help you, sir? The uniformed man points at the naked form in front of him. This clone is faulty. The lights are on, but it seems nobody is home. I try to make sense of all of this. These people are clones of one another. What do you mean, sir? Well, it's obvious, isn't it? He can hear us, but he can't respond. Something must have gone wrong during the process. On the outside, he is fine, but his motor or educational imprinting is flawed. The result is this useless hawk. What good is it being beautiful if you can make everyone proud? The cloning fats are near perfect, but every once in a while some other part of the pipeline produces a disgusting abnormality. Let's take care of him and chuck him up as a total loss. What do you need me to do? Simple. Take his leg. The man called Targus F07 grabs the unmoving clone by the ankles and looks at the other clone. The latter has passed his hand under the clone's arms and pulls him off the platform with a grunt. We'll put the body in the recycling chute. This way we get the nutrients back. Think of it as his way of contributing. Both of them tug and pull up haphazardly, and before long they are panting. We can afford to show weakness at this time, or ever. Everything and everyone is perfect and beautiful in the Horatio Empire. It's kindness we are doing to him when you think about it. I watch as they come nearer and realize that there are about a dozen other men on the platform. All of them are in various state of lying down or sitting up, looking the grotesque scene with a mild interest. Every single one of them is carbon copy of the trio in front of us. I catch my reflection in a surface, and suddenly I realize I too am one of them. I catch my reflection in a surface, and suddenly, wait, a clone of them, a Horatio. It is a good thing we count this now, so we can fix it before the ceremony. Our records needs to be perfect. Otherwise, we will end up in the backwater station, decanting only he knows what. This is a small blessing, really. For you and me, I mean. For him, not so much. The trio passes in front of me, and for a moment my eyes lock into those of the faulty clown. Far from being dead inside, I can see fear radiating from him. He knows he is going to be killed off because he is imperfect. I sit up and try to figure out what these tests are about. I don't want to follow this guy in a recycling chute. Every time I think about what a memory test entails, I come up with a blank. I I think that's the issue right there. My body is functional. I can understand what people are saying and think, but there's nothing of the memory implants they mention. I'm a blank slate. Prop him up while I open the chute. I gotta do something about this. I turn around, look at the clown next to me, who is gazing about with an air of studied detachment. Our eyes lock and his expression shifts to a scowl. I haven't done anything to deserve it, although I've been fidgeting on my platform. What are you looking at, substrate? A room match for a good comeback. All of these guys seem to hold perfection in very high regard. I know what will shut him right up. Let's have first. This is to direct. Let's try this one. I'm just wondering which clone you are. Surely you can be one of us. It takes him a moment, but eventually he gets it. He reddens and mutters under his breath. It definitely doesn't sound friendly. I realize we seem be easily provoked, and causing a scene might just be my way out. I pull my leg off the platform to do just that when I catch something about to fall off. It's the holopath Tergus F07 has left by my side. Maybe there's some information in there that had helped me cheat my way through the test instead. What should I do? Let's have again. Follow information to cheat. I'll go for a subtle approach. I sit back down and put the holopath in my lap. There are numbers of tabs open. Medical procedures, inventories, the news. There's tab that seems to be serial called Forbidden Love. I press the button in front of the image and the show resumes. The sound is off. Subtitles are on. I can only guess that Tergus F07 is not as studious as he appears. The show is taking place in a richly decorated room, with draperies hanging off the walls, pieces of ornate furniture, elongated vases, and tall chalice. Everywhere, portraits, statues, 3D holograms representing me, well, the me who is in charge. We seem really into ourselves. And right on cue, there's another me on screen. He is arguing about something with somebody we can see. Two other Horatios come into view. One dressed as soldier, the other in civilian clothes. The soldier is demanding a rebellion on distant colony be met with force, while the civilian is offering a more measured approach, presenting it as magnanimous. The argument goes back and forth for a bit, with the main me, whom they call Prime, eventually making the call. He'll be magnanimous and offer the rebels a chance to redeem themselves. The soldiers storm off while the other guy sticks around and shuffles closer to him. They share a quick embrace before he slinks off. I fast forward a bit. The soldier comes back in the next scene, in some sort of parlor. Prime and him exchange some oblique remarks, and it becomes clear that in the shadows, things are going to get pretty bad for the rebels anyways. So that's the way things are done around here, okay? And then the soldier tears off his uniform, revealing a perfectly smooth chest, The two exchange a smoldering look. Their lips meet with passion, and they fall to the ground. Oh no! Oh, I got the same reaction. I hear footsteps approaching, and I swiftly put the tablet back down. Targus F07 is coming my way. I raise my hand on the platform and do my best to look detached. I'm ready to play the part. Right. He picks up the tablet, swipes through it, then looks up at me. Right. Okay, I'll ask you a couple of questions, just making sure everything is fine. Let's get this over with, pal. I've got places to be. Settle down, please. This will only take a moment. Looks like your motor controls are working fine. Let's tick that box and move on to the memory test. I'll make it short. What is the name of the first and foremost or God creator and benevolent leader? I will play a clean, not doing something crazy. Horatio Prime. Targus F07 looks at me and nods in approval. Okay, you are officially a fully functioning Horatio. Just that. Sit tight and wait until we are done processing everyone else. With that, he moved on, taking his holopad with him. Well, that was easy. I lay back on the platform and relaxed. Sometime later, the assistant comes back. Thank you for waiting. I'm gonna ask you to please head to the wardrobe in the next room over, where you will find your station uniform. Anyone will do. They are all the same size, obviously. After that, you will be directed towards indoctrination. This will be followed by dinner, orientation, and you will be shown to your quarters. Now this way, please. The door to the next room opens and we step inside. There's a few tables at the far end of the room. Uniforms are neatly stacked and folded next to one another. We look at one another uneasily until someone steps forward and grabs a uniform, looks at it warily and puts it on. We follow suit. It is some sort of green jumpsuit with two deep pockets. Whoops. It closes with a simple zipper in front. The uniform is pretty snug fit and the fabric seems sturdy yet comfortable. I notice there are a pair of light boots under the table, so I take a pair. They are a bit tight. I put my hands in my pocket and look around me, waiting for what is next. The wait doesn't last. After a minute, another door opens. The assistant from before is holding his holopad and peers inside. Okay, well, normally there is somebody else to show you the way to indoctrination. We are a bit short-staffed at the moment, apparently. There is a grumble from my neighbor at this lack of decorum. I've lit up a path on the hollow screen. It will guide you there. Just proceed down that hallway to the concourse and follow interaction. Sorry about that. I shuffle out of the room and hesitantly walk down the hallway, hoping that I won't get lost. The others are following me, although at a distance. No one seeming to want to take the initiative. They seem to be familiar with our surroundings, but not with the layout of the station. At least none of us has to pretend. I think no one wants to be the one going down the wrong way and making a mistake in front of the others. I've seen crossroad twice and stuck to the path indicated by an arrow on the wall screens. So far so good. I keep walking. The others follow. Eventually I hear a murmur in the distance, which grows to distinct noise as I draw nearer. I see some bright light in the distance, and much more colorful environment. I step out onto a plaza, a cathedral of green and gold. There are columns and glass everywhere, with manicured trees and shrubs in every corner, and overhead an immense glass canopy. This must be the concourse. There are a lot of people here, all wearing the same jumpsuits as we are, probably fresh new ones, just like fresh, fresh new clones, just like us. Even my jaded brethren around me are murmuring among themselves in tones of wonder and amazement, as if talking out loud might make the wonders fade away. This way, please. The voice cuts through the noise effortlessly, and in a moment, the conversation goes quiet. A Horatio has appeared on an immense hollow screen, inviting us to move along. There are more hollow projections in the hallway leading to what was it? Indoctrination? That sounds unpleasant. Nonetheless, I follow the crowd. We meander through the corridors for a couple of minutes before we reach our destination. This is a huge room covered in rich materials, from the deep carpeting in the middle of the room to the paneled walls. There are long rows of white, comfortable-looking seats, all facing wall covered with an immense hollow screen. Low columns form arcades and run along the walls of the room. It's beautiful. A Horatio in a red suit is standing with arms crossed on a low podium in front of the hollow screen. He has a look of studied annoyance on his face. Once all of us are inside the room, he speaks up. May I have your attention, please? The crowd falls silent. His voice carries around the room, and even from somewhere near the entrance, I can easily hear him. Please take a seat. Go all the way through the row. Don't just hog the center seats. You will hear me just fine from the sides as well. There is a bit of a rush forward from the new clones to do exactly the opposite of that. Soon enough, a cluster of Horatios are sitting in the prime seats and preventing the rest of the file from moving along. Oh, for his sake. Go around the audience and find a seat from the other side, and occupy the back and side seats if necessary. I position myself carefully in a spot at the back. I had rather watch what is happening and do my best to blend in. The Horatio in the red suit outfit seems about to continue, when another move in from the shadowy arcades to the side of the room and climbs the step to the podium. His feet echo softly on the green marble tiles. The red Horatio closes his mouth and flies a bit. The other one is moving pretty slowly, and from the envious looks of my closest neighbor, I can only imagine that it's on purpose. He dismisses Red with casual gesture of the hand and smile. Wait, I need to drink a bit. Red Horatio left the stand. With a grin, the second Horatio turns to us, his cape flowing in an emphatic demonstration that he is here and demands our attention. When he speaks, his inflections are slightly different. I surmise that he probably spends a lot of time speaking in public. Thank you, second-rate Master Sergeant Excuse B12, that will be all. To each and every me, welcome to Kappa Station, finest in the cluster. Your memory imprints do not cover the last couple of decades, since the last backup was distributed among clothing facilities in this quadrant. Therefore, a lot of the information you know and the things you know may be outdated. This is a crash course what has happened while you were sleeping. Let's start with the most important thing, etiquette with regards to my person. You may address me as a third-rank esteemed Grand Headmaster Rachai Ayaternus P02. In setting that only comprise initiate level and above station personnel, you may call me simply Grand Headmaster or Master Eternus P02. In public, you will always address me as your likeness, provided that the honorific have been properly given and received. In a small setting, you may subsequently call me sir. He pauses for a second. Now that is covered, let us move on to the secondary topic. First, your own identity. It is with a great pleasure that I deem you all initiates. More specifically, your full name will be First Level Initiate Magress. Change this your facility or of origin. And then your username along with your decanting birth and batch number. You are batch 21 of this administration. There is a holopad on your desk. You may use it now to approve your suggested name or pick another one. I look at the holopad resting atop the desk. The screen reads First Level Initiate Magress Placeholders F21. Place and hold F2 and F1. Is that? Do I really want to be called by that name? Let's say first. I don't want to be called placehold. I racked my mind for an idea. Could I randomly type in letters? Wait, no. I'll be stuck with that. Better find something discreet so I blend in. I press the delete button. The words "enter your name" appear instead. Wait, I can click. Shoot, I forgot the leader name of the Unfallen. Wait, let me check. I want to use the Unfallen leader. Aras. J. Okay. Let's check again. Am I in queue? Oh, it's auto. It's quick save. Oh, okay. Let's enter. The screen flashes green for a second after I hit the submit key. Okay, my name First Level Initiate Magress Aras F21 for now. Hope it brings me luck. The Horatio on set must have some way of checking our progress, because after a moment he continues. As initiates, you need to not address category X personnel or unsightly species you may encounter directly. You may find the closest handling to do that for you. Beware that there are many new species that have been added to his glorious empire. Xenoglis aside, there might be some more aliens around the station. Do not be alarmed, they should all be tame. Generally, the raw and unwashed are kept away from their betters, but several client species are permanent residents aboard Kappa station. It is entirely possible that you will come across some of their representatives over the course of the next few weeks. Should you need communicate with them, they are familiar with our speech and will attempt to replicate it to the best of their ability. Most of the new species we have encountered have proven to be just as disappointing as we expected. He smirks, he flicks his wrist and pulls his belt buckle free. With a wave, the buckle lights up, revealing a small hollow pad. Fancy. Now for a brief overview of what has happened in the last decades. Relationship with the so-called fledgling United Empire remained very cold. Representatives from their young leader, a male human called Thyself, have refused vassalage under the auspicious leadership of Horatio himself. Similarly, they have repelled violently several attempts at claiming outer planets of our empire. Proceed with caution. Relationship with the robotic insectoid hive known as the Clever are still at an all-time low. They have eaten the last dozen envoys, as well as the ships they came on. The colony of Heka was deemed lost after we had to vitrify the surface in the year 10191 after him. Their strength would make a great addition to the empire, but at this time we are not pushing efforts any further. Similarly, we are currently not in speaking terms with the Sovereign Republic. The diminutive know-it-alls have recently jumped the gun and seized the system of English. And wait, this happened centuries ago. He flicks through several screens on his hollow screen in rapid succession. All this information is completely out of date. We mess up with the geopolitics database. I am surrounded by complete idiots, I swear. Never mind this. He turned off the hollow screen, sighed, then continues. I guess I'll be doing this from memory. It might be a bit patchy, something that your own memories will definitely encounter to once you start living in your body for a while. Something to do with having a millennia of memories of him. Moving on, you might be wondering why so many of you are being decanted at this time and for what purpose. This station is home to Horatio Academy, where the best and the brightest of his siblings come from all across the empire for further education. The best of this in turn get a shot at joining the other academy led by a Vodiani male called Ishandir. The Vodiani, life-sucking ghouls who live in gigantic space arcs and prey on the defenseless souls of brethren. Except this Ishandir fellow who fled them and founded the academy, a place that has grown into immense power. They have knowledge and mastery of dust. Your purpose, if you end up among the chosen few, is to go there and acquire some of this knowledge and power and bring it back for the glory of his empire. Finally, why so many of you at once? Well, two of our exploration vessels disappeared recently. They contain the brightest mind of this generation, our best shot at getting the knowledge we are seeking. They are gone now, and just a few short weeks before Horatio Prime himself is due to review our academy cadets. Horatio Prime himself is coming to Kappa Station, and we have no cadets. The shame this would bring to me and to the whole station would be unbearable. Anyway, you have to go about 3 weeks to become these cadets. There will be extensive training, there will be classes, there will be etiquette course and a lesson of the latest courtly dances. There will be no failure, or else. Now, if you have questions, keep them for your instructor tomorrow. Time for you to get sustenance and retire to your personal quarters. He turns away and walks out the way he came and under the arcades and out of sight. This Certanus P02 guy is something else. Let's save. What a jackass, kiss people. Let's get the jackass. If I understand him correctly, I have 3 weeks to not only pass for a normal Horatio, but to become an outstanding specimen, worthy of sending on to steal secrets from powerful alien entity. Gotcha. People have already started getting up when the other ones comes back. Master Sergeant, something I believe. Attention please. You are now going to be provided with dinner. Follow me to the mess hall. Without waiting, he turns around, walks down the podium and off into the direction opposite to the one became my brethren and I quickly follow. Finally we get there. Compared to the concourse and the room we were just in, this rather drab place, somehow halfway between a spaceport and a hospital. It doesn't like a place to enjoy dinner as much as a place to eat, a place to feed oneself. Some of my I guess classmates are already in line, and a few have already sat down to eat something I can quite identify yet. I have decided to say classmates since I can settle on whether we should be feeling any kinship towards one another. It does feel strange to hear brethren every other sentence, and I guess calling us cadets might be getting ahead of myself yet. The headmaster's speech didn't really help normalize the situation really. Someone bumps into me and I realize I'm holding up the crowd. I get in line. I grab a tray and slide it on rail. There are some odd kitchen utensils available, but I am not sure what purpose they serve, so I compromise by taking a spoon from the lot. Upon closer inspection, I realize it's a spork. The filter looks amazing. I look up at the people serving us food. There are Horatios too, wearing some sort of jumpsuit and looking pretty upset to be here. One hands me a bowl of something I don't get recognized, serving me a mean look at the same time. I'm surprised by the direct eye contact, and before I know it, I'm saying, "Hello, thank you." The Horatio lunch person is as surprised as I am, and frowns before saying back, "Hello, enjoy your food." I've never before seen anyone be so begrudgingly in saying thank you. But then again, I have not seen many people. Take it easy, friend. I shuffle along and look at the contents of my bowl. It's slop, definitely slop. Don't know what it's made of or what animal it came out of. Oh well, at least it seems hot. I grab some water and a piece of bread. No dessert options. Princely. I look around for a place to sit next to someone, hoping for a bit of any kind of interaction. I sit down next to a bored-looking classmate, but after a few further encouraging smiles, I give up. Every miss is a bit on edge, and other tables, it looks like people are focusing on the content of their tray. The slop proved to taste just as awful as it looks. Once I'm done pushing about the last bit of food left, I stand up and go put my tray back where I've seen others do so. A fair bunch of people have left already, and looking at their trays, it seems like I'm not the only one for whom enjoyment of our dinner was minimal. Off to the side, there is a guard taking people off a long list and sending them down a hallway. It's that Master Sergeant dude again, I think. Some of us, it seems, have different face markings and uniforms although I'm not sure what their meaning are. We lock eyes and he barks up. What is your name? First level initiate. I initiate clearly. I am Arax F21, first level initiate Megres Arax F21. He searches for a few moments, then finds it. Yes, Arax F21. Your living quarters are in section B8, level 9, hall 47, door 32. It's down this way, just follow the signs. You can't miss it. And if you do, we'll figure out eventually. I look the way he is pointing at a nondescript hallway off to the side, leading away from the concourse. I look back at the guard, but he turned his attention to someone else. Hesitantly, I set out to find door 32. My footsteps softly down long, empty hallway. It takes me some time to realize I don't see anyone else, although I sometimes hear voices echoing from afar. I eventually find my way to level 9, hallway 47. It's an even quieter area of the station which is saying something. There are small doors. There, tiny affairs compared to the ones on the main concourse. Even the ceiling is much lower, about 2 meters high. The lighting is a mix of neon glare and ever oppressive flickers of a tube that just refuse to give up the ghost. I look around me to get my bearings. It seems I'm nearly at the end of the hallway, where a bend leads to some sort of control system for life support. I guess I'm getting the finest air in the area then. With one last look towards the map, I start down the wall. Door 1, 2, 31, 32. This should be it. I look around. Make me the finest air in the area. But boy oh boy, this end of the hallway looks like it hasn't seen a mop in weeks. There are strange sounds coming from next door over, which must be the life support control room. Ominous. Is this the right place? Sections B8, level 9, hallway 47, door 32. Yep, no doubt, this is me. I pull the heavy metallic door open with a groan and step inside. From my vantage point, I survey my new kingdom. From left to right, there is a tiny sink for my ablutions, a mirror that doubles as a hollow screen, a toilet with no lid, a closet, a narrow bunk with a blanket and a pillow, some almost empty shelf, and we are back to the door, all in cylinder about 2 by 4 meters, cozy. Well, this may not be the warm embrace of cloning birds, but it will do. At least I have a place to the place to myself. I pull the door closed behind me. There is distracting buzzing coming from an overhead fan. The finest air, huh? I sit down on the bed and look about. It's a bit too hot in here now that the door is closed. There are 12 physical controls in a panel by the entrance, so I turn the temperature down a notch. The buzzing increased to a screech. Is something scraping on metal? There's no way I can sleep with this thing on. I turn the knob back to its original level. The metal screech subsides. Screw it, that will do for tonight. I prop myself down on the bed, turn off the light, and pull the blanket over my head. There is sinister rumble in my belly. That doesn't bode well. Oh. Okay. I think this is a good transition for ending the stream, and that dialogue is wow, I never talked that much before. So I will end the stream here. Thank you very much for watching, or anyone watching this archive. Please leave like and subscribe. If you want to support me, you can support me through Streamlabs and Social Bus if you are in Indonesia, in the description below. Thank you very much. See you later. Oh yeah, save first.